Hey guys, my name is Kendrick and welcome to ENFP Male. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Otim Obita. Did I say your last name right?
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, said it good.
All right, dude. Welcome. Pleasure to interview you today.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's good to be here.
so before I jump into your personality, before we hit the record button, I was just asking you, which part of Africa was your name from, and you said it was from.
Yeah, Uganda. Yeah, it's from Uganda, but yeah, I wasn't born there. I was born in Botswana. Lived in Botswana until I was 9. I moved to the UK, but all my family's from Uganda, so that's like home. So yeah, weird kind of history, but yeah, that's me.
How did you end up in Botswana if your family's from Uganda? Because they're not that
Yeah,
close to each other.
yeah, they're not. They're really not. My parents. Well, my parents were in healthcare, so my mum's a nurse, my dad's a doctor, and they were kind of looking for like opportunities, like job opportunities. And I think Uganda at the time wasn't very stable. There's a lot of problems there at the time. And there was a job opportunity in Botswana, and my dad was like, we're gonna go there. So they went there, and then they had me in Botswana, spent some time there. Then they decided to move to UK because they thought it'd be better for my brothers and I for like education and stuff.
Was it easy for you guys to move to the UK from Botswana?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the flight was long. Yeah, I guess it was easy. I had to get used to the cold weather because like Botswana is literally a desert. Like the temperature is like it's you're not gonna see any green grass around. It's literally just desert, dry heat weather. I think a good portion of it is the Kalahari Desert, and I came here and obviously, and I came here during January, Feb, and it was winter, and yeah, that adjustment was so bad. I'd get like frostbite, and my fingers and my toes would just be swollen, and I had that for months
Oh my God,
because of the cold.
that's
And
crazy.
yeah, it was I think I don't know, it's not surprising. I mean, other than that, it was cool. It was a different environment, different culture, but it was dope. I moved quite a lot in Botswana anyways, so like I moved like 3 times while I was in Botswana. So when I moved to UK, I was like, oh, it's just another place I'm moving to. So yeah.
I've been to Botswana actually.
Really?
I went to Chobe National Park.
Oh, I have no idea where that is. I can't. I
It's
have no idea.
it borders Zambia near Livingston.
Oh, right, right. Interesting. Were you just there like just to visit? Oh, you did a traveling thing, didn't you?
Yeah, I went backpacking for a year, and then
Yeah.
so part of my backpacking, I went to Zambia to go see Victoria Falls. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then the hostel I was staying at was doing a day trip to Botswana to Chobe National
Yeah.
Park to do a safari. So we took the ferry across and we saw a bunch of animals in
Yeah,
Botswana.
yeah, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
actually
that's
like funny enough, I'm actually going to Uganda this coming June. Uh,
Oh, really?
yeah, to do a gorilla tracking. So
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. How long are you staying there for?
just for a day because I'm spending most of my time in Rwanda actually. Because
Gorilla tracking. What
yeah,
the?
yeah, that's like the popular thing now for like travelers is to go to Uganda to do the gorilla tracking.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that actually. There was actually something crazy that happened in Uganda. There's
Kidnapping.
a kind no yeah, probably. But there was some elephants that went on a rampage. I think they were elephants. Yeah, elephants that went on a rampage. Because I think they have this tourist attraction like the waterfall attraction. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Sensory. Anyways, normally there's animals around and they're not like in an enclosure. They
Yeah.
just try to keep the animals there by like providing food, so the animals kind of stay in that area. And one of them were like elephants, and for some reason maybe like there was someone that had a lazy day and they weren't taking care of the elephants, and the elephants just left the area and just went to some village and just had a ball. But I think they some people were injured by the elephant, but I think they were not reacting how they should. I think they were like kind of harassing the elephant. So
Oh,
you
that's
know,
really
you're gonna,
horrible.
yeah, I know. But I think, I don't know, like maybe they were surprised, like, oh no, elephant, and just trying to like control it. When if you just leave it alone, it's not there to hurt you. So I don't know. But yeah, that happened. So
That
so
elephant, that elephant was an EP.
yeah, the elephant was EP, just exploring the world, just
Yeah,
doing its
don't
thing.
control me, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, dude. So let's jump into your type actually. So you are an INFJ, but you're not
Yeah.
the standard INFJ. Actually, looking at your animal stack, you're quite it's quite different from
Pretty
like a
yeah.
typical INFJ. So can you tell us kind of like what your animal stack is and your sexual modalities and like what type of if you're standard or jumper type. So let's go.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, my type's pretty messed up. Like, it's pretty weird. So I'm an INFJ technically, but so my type is NITI, sleep, consume, play, missing blast, and masculine, feminine modalities. So the reason why I say that my type's messed up is because I'm the least INFJ type of INFJ. Um, my NI and FE at the top are both feminine, so like they're not very solid functions because they're feminine. And my SE and TI are masculine. And my NE and FE at the NI and FE at the top are also single activated, so they're not really strong either. So they're weak relating to like the wiring. My top two are kind of weak, and it's my wiring makes me seem more like an ISTP because I have double activated TI and SE. So that's why it's like I'm the least INFJ-ish INFJ. And on top of that, I'm missing Blast. So Blast is using my NINFE. That's like what an MBTI INFJ would be. And if that's missing, it just doesn't seem like I'm an INFJ. So yeah, that's why it's pretty weird. But yeah,
Man, that like having those feminine NI and FE and not having that blast, that's almost like the trademark INFJ, animal or functions.
yeah,
The fact that you don't have that is it's so fascinating. Also because now, like, if I were to use some NF anecdotes here,
yeah,
you do have the INFJ vibe. To be honest, like just talking to you,
right, right,
you do
yeah,
have the INFJ vibe, but but at the same time, you use play quite a bit, and
yeah,
you know I think that's so fascinating because a lot of INFJs are either missing play completely or
yeah,
they have it, and when you're missing that play, like the INFJ comes across so much more different than someone that has play. Yeah,
yeah. That's true. Yeah, like I basically rely on play for all social interactions. Like even our conversation before, and even maybe at the beginning of this one, it's like I have to bounce off your experiences. I'm like, what did you do in Botswana? What are you doing? Like I have to like I have to talk based on feedback as opposed to I'm just telling you stuff I know. So it's weird. Like I do rely on play quite a lot. But it can be draining if I do it for too long. But yeah,
well,
that's true.
but it's nice though because like sometimes I talk to an INFJ, but then when the INFJ kind of goes into that lecture mode, like
Yeah,
you kind of like lose connection with that person because
yeah, yeah,
but then when you have an INFJ that has play higher, then you feel like you're kind of connecting more, right?
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
It's like you're sharing experiences as opposed to like, okay, I'm gonna go lecture you, and then after I
on
lecture
this
you,
aspect.
then you can go lecture me, and
Yeah,
and then I'm kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, I'm cool with it. I'm pretty flexible with that stuff. But like, if you want to build connection with someone, I think using play
play.
is important. I think just in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a very good point, actually. Yeah, that's true. The only I'm just trying to think. The only problem with my downfall is when I'm talking to someone, I'm not very clear with what I'm trying to say. I like My brother actually told me this earlier. He knows nothing about OP or anything, but he basically said to me, when you're trying to make a point, you go round and round in circles before like you hit a point. So I guess there's pros and cons between the missing blast INFJ and the missing play. So like even this now probably could be more concise, but I'm just elongating explanation. But yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think if you were talking to an efficient, obsessed INTJ, they would be upset at you
yeah,
for,
yeah. My
for going in circles, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. My dad, like, I think he's an ISTJ. Like, obviously, I'm not Dave and Shannon, but I think he's an ISTJ. And like, he used to, like, I'll tell him stuff, and after I finish talking, he'll just be annoyed at me because he'll be like, "Why are you telling me all this irrelevant information? Why didn't you just stop at like the first point?" Because I'll just like keep talking, and I'm just like, "Well, I don't know. It's just I have to tell you everything. I don't know when to like not when to stop."
Yeah,
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
that's funny, man.
Yeah.
um, that's so interesting. But at the very, you know what? At the very least, I think the hardest INFJ to talk to is the one with consume less. You know, that that,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that's what from my experience, because like I'm surrounded by so many INFJs. You know,
Yeah.
like I think ENFPs and INFJs kind of have a natural, like, I don't know,
Affinity.
gravitational pull to each other. And
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes I'm so dumbfounded, like it's, like at how frequent it happens. Like
Yeah.
like I work in the fitness industry, for example, right?
Yeah.
And it never ceases to amaze me how, like, it's almost like there's no way this is a random coincidence that
Yeah.
people that seek out to hire me as a personal trainer has been an INFJ. There is no way. It's such a weird, like, coincidence, like
Yeah, yeah.
every time I have a bunch of clients, there's always at least two INFJ that I have as like a reoccurring long-term client. And
Yeah.
and I just don't know why it's happening. It's just like,
It's weird, man. There's stuff that happens that we can't like see. I don't know, man. I know what you mean. It's weird. Like things tend to cluster for some reason, and even types sometimes. I don't know from personal experience. I guess I wouldn't be able to specify a type that clusters around me, but I know exactly what you mean. It's like you just find yourself surrounded by the same thing, and you don't know why. It's just coming towards you, and you don't know why. Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Let's jump in to your NITI, actually, because I'm quite curious about you being a jumper. Uh,
yeah,
so your self above tribe. So let's talk about that first, and then let's talk about what your life is like as an NITI, because you're essentially an NT then. So
yeah, yeah. Which
let's,
is
let's go with that.
yeah. So self above tribe first. How does that manifest? I guess it's I don't express how selfish I am, like, or how self orientated I am. And I think it's because it's TI and it's like masculine TI. So I'll argue in my head a lot with people, but I tend not to argue outside, right? So I'm quite flexible with the tribe. So I don't think my self tendencies is like obvious to people. Um, but people tend to refer to me as a very nice person. Like I've never really had tribe issues to do with like me against someone. People always tell me like I'm a nice person. So I guess it sorry, my dad's home. He may open the door, so in
That's
case
fine.
that happens.
That's
But
fine.
yeah, so I don't know. I don't think it expresses as like me being selfish, but myself above tribe. I find it really hard to do things that I don't really think is important. Or like, I find it hard to do something just because I should do it. Like I have to decide for myself it's good. Otherwise, like I don't want to do it. Like let's say the tribe wants me to clean the kitchen or something. Let something arbitrary. If if it's not like, if I don't have a good reason to do it, or if I'm not on board with the tribe, I'm not gonna be swayed just by needing to do it. But if I'm like, okay, the tribe is right, I think it's important to do this, like from my own reasoning, then like I'll want to do it. So that's how it manifests. Like I need to find my own reason to do something. Yeah. There's probably more stuff, but like it's not in my head at the moment.
Well, you know what? You are a double decider, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's not
yeah, yeah,
like the balance is not that skewed. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
and you have that feminine FE too, right? So you kind of
Exactly.
go with the
Yeah,
flow with the tribe. So it doesn't come out as something that is very punchy, even though
yeah,
it's there.
yeah.
Yeah. What about the other question that I had with you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What did you ask about? I forgot. I forgot. Sorry. Uh,
Um, I think I was asking more like what it's like to be a jumper, NITI, because you come across
yeah,
as
NT.
NT. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like before I got typed as this type, I thought I was INFJ as in like MBTI INFJ. So I thought I was NF. I didn't think I was an NT. I've never been any other type other than an INFJ. So, and there's been plenty of times when I've been like, maybe I'm not an INFJ, and I consider NT types, but never at any point was I resonating with that because I just didn't feel like I was smart enough. I don't conduct myself in the NT way. Like, I don't express NT to people. No one really sees NT, I don't think. So it's weird, but I think at the end of the day, I think it's because even though I'm NT, I think my functional stack does matter. Like, I'm still a INFJ, so I think I'm not like the purest NT compared to like an ENTP, if you know what I mean.
I think
Um,
David Shan, well, Dave specifically has said that your function stacks still matter.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
like if you have your intuition first, your introvert intuition, and your extrovert feeling second,
yeah,
even though you're jumping over your FE, the FE is
yeah.
actually still stronger than your TI.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for
So
sure.
even though you're jumping, it's still stronger, which is kind of odd, right? So
Yeah, it's so weird.
even though it's strong, you don't prefer to use it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so weird. It's so weird. Like my FE still works. I just tend not to use it. And so what does it feel like being this jumper NT? It feels like my NT-ness is more of a personal thing. Like I'm NT, but in a very personalized way. Compared to like an ENTP, there'll be an NT personally and like publicly. Do you know what I mean? So like it feels like it's a very limited NT, but it's still there. It's still the way I conduct everything in my head is very logical, but it doesn't come out as much, I think.
So
But yeah,
in your private world, you are an NT, but like
yeah,
in your public life, you're an NF. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
yes,
for
yes.
sure. Yeah, I
Um,
think even in I'd like show to people my type video I sent to Dave and Shannon just so like they can guess. And like I think most people thought I was NIFI. So like even other people thought I was NF. So
well, maybe that's a self-awareness that comes with having that TI, as your savior function,
yeah,
because I noticed that it like just from my observation, just dealing with a lot of INFJs,
yeah,
it's very black and white from what I've seen. Like either the INFJ knows who they are and they can
yeah,
tell me with good confidence who they are,
yeah,
or they tend to change their identity based on who they're talking to, and that seems to be like the pattern that I've seen with INFJs.
yeah. I can't do that, man. I can't. Well, maybe I do it somewhat unconsciously, but if someone wants me to be a certain way other than like what I am, I can't do that. Like I'll take the repercussions. I'm happy to take the repercussions of being myself, but it's so weird. I had a conversation with that with someone. I was there was some I remember how I said I don't really get into tribe issues. There was a tribe issue, and it was when I went out with my friends. I was in the bathroom, and a group of guys came in. I think they were like they were like, how do I put this? They were, I don't know how to say it. They were like very, they're not like gang people, but they were about that life, if you know what I'm saying. Like they wouldn't they wouldn't think twice about stomping someone out like in the bathroom. That's the kind of people that were there. And I was and my friend was like, oh, I'm gonna take a shit, just like mind the cubicle door, like, you know, anyone can open it. I was like, yeah, I'll stand there. And they were walking around and they thought I was like uh blocking the door because my friend was doing drugs or something. So they were like, ooh, what's happening? So he pushed the door open. I was like, yo, what are you doing? And and this is such a long convoluted story. Long story short, I kind of just stood my ground. I was like, what are you doing? And then they were a bit like, they were trying to be a bit aggressive on me. I didn't really feel like changing my identity because I was like, bro, you opened the door. My friend was taking the shit. And then they were cool about it. We were friends after anyways. Then I was walking back and my friend was telling me, oh, like, you know, when you're, it's because I was black and like they were black too. And he was like, you know, when like you're with them, just you try to be more flexible. Da, 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 da. I was like, no, like I can't change who I am. Like this is the person I am. So long story short, yeah, even my friend was like, you should be more flexible, but like, yeah.
I think sometimes holding your ground, your identity, it manifests in a different way than like if you were trying to be flexible with the person. So
Yeah, yeah.
I just have noticed that if you rely on your TI, you know,
Yeah.
or if you're someone that, you know, has that kind of like self above tribe kind of like mentality, even though it might come across as not as flexible,
Yeah.
it comes out in a different way. I think it comes out in charisma. So you
Yeah.
might come across as more charismatic and likable, you know,
Yeah.
and I think like from what I can hear from your story, I think you use your charisma to diffuse this little issue that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea what was gonna happen. I didn't know if they would beat me up or like, but I just didn't. I don't know. There was nothing in my I didn't have a choice. And I think that's what masculine DI feels like. You don't, when it comes down to it, you're just like, I don't really have a choice. I'm kind of, this is it. I'm stuck. This is me now.
Man,
That's it.
like
I don't know.
like the way you just said things is so like on point. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, which is feminine NI,
Yeah.
but like I have no choice, but I have to stand my ground, which is masculine TI. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you're
I
like
don't really.
you're doing things like step by step, like like almost.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird how language literally kind of expresses type as well. Like
yeah, yeah,
just then. I don't know. Yeah.
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 But you know
What
what?
about you?
What about
Like do you what's your modality? Is it MF?
I'm MF like you, so
Yeah, so you're MF.
I'm extremely audio kinesthetic. Um,
Yeah.
with the emphasis on the audio, and
Yeah.
I am NEFI, ENFP.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. CPB. Consume
consume,
play blast.
consume, play, blast, sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. And
Yeah.
but I just noticed from you and you know like INFJs that I interviewed that has masculine
Yeah.
TI that
Yeah.
you guys have such good like self-awareness. Like you know what you're good at and you know what you're bad at, and you can like honestly explain that to people. Like, yeah, you know, I'm good at this stuff, I'm bad at this stuff. It's all cool. You know, like
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah. Yeah.
like, chill with it, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I try to be chill with it. I'm very like, I think because of my type, I'm very, very kind of, I don't want to say obsessed, but I always get consumed with how well I do things and like how useful I am, like how competent I am. So it annoys me if I don't like do something the way I want to do it efficiently or whatever, or a skill I need to learn. It will annoy me, but I don't know. I guess I don't express that as
yeah,
annoyance. It's like whatever. But to me, inside it annoys me a lot. But yeah, I think that's just the TI. Yeah, the TI, I guess. Yeah.
definitely the
I was gonna ask.
yeah shoot.
Um, Do you so I'm sleep consume and then play. So like my TI is double activated and I'm super like introverted. You're a consume play blast
Yeah.
and a double decider. So like you're like a super balanced double decider. Like you're like the most balanced it could be because it's like you have a single activated FI and it's masculine, but it's the savior, and then a double activated demon TE, but it's feminine. It's like that's like the most balanced deciders you could have. So like, how do you experience that? Are you just super like aware of every the relationship between? I don't know. How does that play out? I'm just curious myself how that plays out with you.
Well, because my TE is double activated, I think that's kind of like, um, that's kind of like what manifests on the outside world. So if people were to look at me, they'll just think that I'm probably an NT also. Or like a jumper. Like I was accused of being a jumper many times.
Yeah,
But it's because I have the double activated TE, right? So it makes sense if you, if you were an outsider, like, and you don't know me, from for 10
yeah,
years, that's what
yeah,
be relying on. But I do like when I blast, that uses my TE. When I play, I use my TE a lot. It is feminine though, so it's quite
yeah.
flexible. So like when I deal with the tribe, I'm quite like flexible. Like I almost think sometimes I'm
Yeah.
submissive to the tribe, you know, unless you
Right.
unless you piss me off. Like when you piss me off, my masculine FI comes out. Like I don't know
Yeah.
how many times, like I drive and I'll roll my window down and I'll flip people off, or like I'll go in a chain of cussing, like, to other drivers, right? Like like one time, I was trying to park my car, and I was looking for
Yeah.
parking, like parallel parking, right? And then this one guy started like honking at me, right? And then I thought it was very rude because I'm just looking for parking. I'm not trying to, like, block the road or anything. So I opened my window and I said, I'm like, fuck you, and then I said some, even worse things after that. And then and I said it to him in front of his whole family, right? With his children and his wife. And and then my girlfriend was with me and she was laughing her ass off, right? Because like it was so it was so aggressive, right?
Yeah, yeah, just like out of nowhere, like boom. That's not a masculine FI, man. Like I think masculine FI is the most like it's like the purest I don't know if it's the purest self like DI function, but it's like it's just so strong. I think it's like stronger than TI, masculine TI. Like the strength it gives like someone when you hit someone in their masculine FI. Like I think it's a stronger pushback than if someone had masculine TI. Like when someone does have masculine FI, I just love it because it's like this raw expression of like fuck you. Like it's like
Yeah,
the rawest it can be. Um, I when I'm annoyed, I don't, I don't have that. It's like it's very much I'm not moving, but it's not like aggressive. It's just I'm not moving. But yours is I'm not moving and fuck you. It's
yeah.
like a double, yeah, weird,
Well, I
but
think with masculine TI, it's like you're gonna fight people about something logical. Like let's say someone says something illogical, or
yeah,
not logically consistent.
yeah,
That's when you might get heated in the argument, but not so much that it's personal. It's more about the topic that you're arguing over that you get heated
yeah,
over. But like,
yeah, yeah,
but with
for
FI,
sure.
it's personal, man. It's personal. Like
Oh,
even like I said a few weeks ago, because I've been trying to work on my SI more, which is kind of like
yeah,
looking into the past and like reflecting and kind of like making a decision. Like have like Blast is having a loaded answer, like a ready-made answer, right? So
yeah,
I because I work in the fitness industry, there tends to be people that comes to the fitness facility that can come across as condescending,
right.
and
Like people that want help or people that are like coaches.
well, you know what, I don't want to use the race card here, but sometimes I think, like I don't know if they're like an older white person and
Yeah,
they're males, and like I said, I don't want to use the race card, but sometimes there is like that vibe where like they're trying to like talk to you in a condescending way, like because you're a minority. I don't know if that happened to you, but so I like a long time ago there was this one guy that went to the facility I was working at, and he looked at me from a distance and he went like this.
No.
That's like so condescending, right?
Yeah.
And then like
I would straight up just look at the person and then just carry. I don't know. That's
so when it first happened to me, I did not know how to react to it because I was an employee to this facility, right? So I can't like go up to him and say fuck you, right? Because like
you're double deciding.
Because I work there and like I don't want to get fired, right? Like I need it for my day job.
Yeah.
So 3 years later, the exact same thing happened again. Like I was working in the facility I work at now, and then another guy, went up like this to me, But now because I had the time to kind of process what happened a long time ago, and like I kind of had like a what do you call it, a reaction, a ready-made reaction in my back pocket should this happen again.
Yeah.
So when this happened again, I knew exactly how I was going to react to this person. So when he did that, I went straight to him. I walked like directly straight at him with like a lot of like aggression, and he was about to tell me what the problem was that he wanted to rant about.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, that's very satisfying.
Why are you doing this? That is condescending. Why are you doing this? And he's like, I think he was like an ESTJ, and he freaked the fuck out, right? He's like, I'm not trying to start shit, but if you want me to start shit, I can start shit,
Yo, that shit's funny. That's funny.
Then I didn't like, not hold my ground, right? In my head, using my FI, I was like, I don't give a fuck if I get fired. I'm not going to let this person talk down to me like this. I'm going to hold my self-respect and my dignity, and I'm going to push back. And if I get in trouble in the back office, I'm going to tell them, if someone did this to you, would you feel it's okay? Would you someone talk to you in that manner? Is that okay? But then I soon realized when I was talking to this person that he's just socially stupid. Like he just doesn't have social.
Yeah, socially inept. Yeah, it was just a stupid thing to do.
So after I spoke to the guy, I soon realized, especially after I saw him freaking out. Keep in mind at this point, I'm kind of like I'm well aware of op already. So I saw him having like a freak out almost, like, like I don't know, like maybe for him it felt weird because he was an EJ and the tribe was getting upset.
Yeah, it's the tribe. Yeah.
Yeah, so like he was like how do I react to this?
Flustered, like completely flustered. Yeah.
And then like a lot of EJs. I don't want to use anecdotes here, but like EJs tend to put people in like groups, like like those people, right? So so clearly for me, I'm Asian, right? So so he's like I have nothing against your people, and I'm like my. I was like okay, clearly I know what he's talking about. Like he thinks I'm upset because he's being condescending to an Asian person. I wasn't thinking that way. I was just thinking, this is a condescending thing. You don't do this to people, Like
I never.
Doesn't matter what the race is. Right? So
it's so weird. Oh my god. Yeah, go on.
So later he tells me what the problem was, and then there was something wrong with one of the equipment, right? So I leave the room to go report it, right? I come back, and you know what he's doing, right? He's talking to another Asian person.
Yeah.
Telling him that he's not a bad guy, and I was like, oh my god, like
it's so weird. It's like
come on, man, like you EJs are so weird. Like sometimes, like
it's so like
I was talking to you as an individual, like me as you as like a person. I wasn't talking to you as like me as like an Asian person, and you as a white guy. Like that wasn't even the context of the conversation, like
it's crazy. It's like I think it is like a DE thing, and I'm so like, because I'm sleep consumed, I treat everyone as an individual so much that like I'm always so dumbfounded by so many like race issues or like gender issues where like people have like that filter on. Not that obviously those problems exist, like and it's just I don't it's just such a different world for me, because I'm just like, this person is a unique individual with unique experiences, and like I just, yeah, I'm so far removed from seeing people in like groups. It almost makes me seem weird to people because they're like, oh, like you don't even, I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird. That's DE, I guess.
Yeah, but you're also a double decider, right? So like if people make a joke about race, sometimes it's kind of funny. Like it doesn't really offend you
Yeah,
that much. Because
yeah, for sure.
like there's a lot of stereotypes with black people, right? Like
Huh?
black people like fried chicken, for example. That's like the biggest stereotype,
Yeah,
right? So like I joke around with like my black coworker sometimes. Like
yeah.
I had a black coworker a long time ago. I think I think he was a double observer, single decider. Yeah, single decider.
Yeah,
So I told him like hey man, you're black, you like fried chicken and Kool-Aid and watermelon, right? And then
yeah,
he got pissed at me, right? And then but then later on I had another coworker who was also black, but he was like double decider, right?
yeah.
I told the exact
He
same joke.
was,
I was like, hey man, you're black, you must like fried chicken and watermelon and Kool-Aid. And then he looks at me
yeah,
and he's like, who doesn't like that shit? And then I was like,
yeah. Who doesn't?
man, that's such a good point. Like I like that
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah.
Like,
But
and he was like so double decided about it, right? He was like so chill. It's
yeah,
like
yeah. That's so
like
cool. Yeah,
like even when you tell like a stereotypical joke, like if you say it to like a double decider, they're like, whatever, you know.
yeah.
He's like,
Like I don't take it personally. It's just like it's just a joke. I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah,
The one thing I always fight people on if they say that, I'm like, actually no, it is incorrect. I don't like watermelon. So I get all like
yeah.
TI on
So it's a
them.
TI, it's a
But
TI argument.
yeah, that's yeah.
Like it's like people going
Oh
up to me,
shit,
right?
bro.
It's like you're Asian. It's like if I'm hanging with some people and then they're like, oh, you're Asian, you must want to go eat like Chinese food or something, right? You know.
Oh shit, the
And then I'm like,
connection. Did I freeze?
you're lagging a little bit, but
Yeah, a
I think you're
little
okay
bit.
now.
All right, wait.
Okay. No, it's just
Yeah,
like
I think okay now.
it's like someone goes up to me, right? And they're like, "Oh, you're Asian. You must want to go eat Chinese food, right?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, I like Chinese food, but I also like Italian food, and I like like
yeah.
like
Like there's some. It's more what I'll only get bothered based on like the logical consistency, but that's it.
yeah,
There's no
yeah,
like, yeah, it's never like personal. I don't think. I get like jokes. Oh, I used to get a lot of jokes like if it's dark. Like we had that issue. You couldn't see my face, and I was like, yeah, this always happens. This is
yeah.
me.
You were so
Um,
you made that joke, like you made that joke, right? So
yeah, like the amount of situations where I'm taking a picture of people and like everyone else is just either white or like just not this skin tone, and like I'm since I'm like since I don't want to control the tribe, I'm too uncomfortable to say turn the flash on just for me because everyone else doesn't need it on. So I'm like, there's like 10 other people that don't need it on. I don't want to make a decision for the tribe. So I just stand there and then like you can't see me and I'm like, well, you can see everyone else, so that's fine. Like you can see 9 out of 10 people. That's fine. That's okay. That's the majority. I
yeah,
just accept it.
but
Yeah,
like,
that happens a lot.
well, I mean, like just don't take pictures at night, I guess. Like that's
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that's the only time anyone ever wants to take pictures. Funnily enough, maybe it's just to spite me. I don't know.
man.
But
This is like the ultimate like double decider like conversation here.
yeah, yeah,
There's like no
uh,
fucks given with
yeah. I
what
don't know.
be afraid to say,
Yeah, I don't know. It's really. I always get like, when a single decider freaks out, I always my first reaction is to laugh because I'm like I'm always so surprised. I'm like, oh shit, he was offended by that. Like that's crazy. And I'm always like, yeah, there was something that happened recently. I can't remember, but like, yeah, it was just funny.
So
I was
they're
gonna ask.
they're like offended for you. Like
Pardon? Yeah, yeah,
it's so weird, Like I'm not
yeah. It's just
offended. It's cool.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes, yeah, it's so weird. The amount of situations where like someone will say something to me and I'm like fine, but like the third person will be like that was so bad. And I'm just like, no, you're making it weird. It was fine between me and this person, but like, it's usually something like that. It's so weird, but that's just life, I guess. Um,
Have you played
you know,
Have you played the board game Settlers of Catan?
no, I haven't. What is it like?
Oh, it's like a 4 to 6 player like game where you build like settlements and you try to get more points than the other people. And
Is
then
it like Civilization?
well, it's a board game, so it's not like Civilization.
Oh yeah,
Like, you know, there's cards involved and there's like
yeah,
resources,
yeah,
but like I was playing Settlers of Catan with an EJ a few days ago, and he's Iranian, but he's born in India, right? And
yeah.
know,
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Indian people are referred to as brown sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I call them around.
So like there was like a you get like pieces of houses, kind of like Monopoly, like a house and like a hotel looking building, and
Yeah,
and like roads and stuff. So I gave him the packet of like little
oh
houses,
shit.
and the color of the little packet were brown, right? I'm like
Yeah, yeah,
brown for you,
yeah,
'cause-
yeah. I mean, it's brown. Yeah.
and he was like, oh my god, that's such a racist thing to say, but like, and I was like, eh, like what
Is
the
it?
hell, like like.
That's pretty weak. That's pretty weak for racism.
Yeah, but
Like,
I'm like,
it's not even. Yeah,
I'm like, what the heck? Like, it's like an EJ thing, right? Like, what are you like?
yeah.
Race, man. Like, come on, man. This
Yeah,
like this is just not a big deal, man. Like,
yeah.
first of
It's
all,
so weird.
you're not even brown. You're like, you're Persian. So
Yeah, that's so funny. Do you think like IPs have a similar? Is it specifically EJs, or do you think IPs have a similar weird? How do?
oh, dude, IPs have this issue, man. Like, I was, like man, I love double decider like jokes, like
Yeah,
so like I went up to an IP once, and I told them, I don't really hate Donald Trump, like, like it's like the ultimate like thing that you would say that, like, I'm a minority and I don't really hate him. Like, I don't like
yeah. Like it's the most like
I,
controversial
I
thing.
don't like him, but
Yeah,
I don't hate him. I feel like I'm pretty neutral with Donald Trump. So
yeah,
I don't understand why all these EJ people and I people are freaking out over him. Like,
yeah.
like, like, Dave and Shan. I was watching their videos recently, and
Mm-hmm.
Dave was actually defending Donald Trump, right, in one of his videos, right? And I
Oh,
was
I
like,
missed this.
yeah,
I think I missed.
I think it was with Eminem, like the when he was typing Eminem.
Oh yeah. I
So,
remember that.
so he was like defending Donald Trump in that video with Eminem. And I
Yeah,
was like watching this video. I was like, oh my god, if I like an EJ watched this, they would redline for sure.
yeah.
Like this, all reason would jump out of the window at this point because like it's so like it's such a taboo topic. Like if you bring it up
It is.
an EJ or IP, right?
Just from like a cultural or like a social opinion. I don't know how to say it, but like yeah, like straight up like he's cancelled. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone.
He's someone you should hate.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Yeah,
someone you should hate. Yeah,
yes, yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
And I don't hate him either. I mean, like I can definitely like he's the president. Like he did something right. Like he did something better than you. Do you like this?
well, Dave's argument was like he's the first American president or president in general that has gotten North Korea to open up some more. Like
Yeah,
he had a meeting with the North Korean president and they're actually buddies, right? It's kind of weird.
yeah. Like
And like
it's
like that's a big deal, that's not a small feat, right? So
yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like everything. I think just like everything in life, there's always more to understand. So if you just say no, this is bad, it's like you're gonna miss out on the actual good parts. So I think with double deciders, we can do that with people, and I guess double observers can do that with things.
I'm
Um,
I'm so amused by our interview because like I can see us putting this in like the Facebook group and like all the EJs are like we talked about a lot of things that are like pretty much taboo, right? Like we talked
yeah,
about Trump, we talked about like you being dark and you can't take pictures in the dark and like
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot of like taboo topics here, and like
yeah.
a lot of people getting like offended, like
Yeah, I had it like in the back of my head. I was like, ooh, maybe we shouldn't talk about this, but I was like, nah, fuck it, like it's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, like
Let's
we're
just do it.
no, but like we need to show an example. I think of what like double decider really is.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yeah, that's true.
this is like the purest form of double decider right here. Uh, but let's go, man. Like we're getting off tangent here. I wanted to ask
Yeah,
you about your demon SE. So
Demon SC.
can you tell me a story of like a time where you had like a big chaos tidal wave?
This is the thing, right? Because of my type, I'm like a glass lizard, so
Yeah.
I have double activated masculine SE. So compared to IJs, like I don't have huge SE freakouts. Instead, because I it's very activated, I engage with it quite a lot. So I still have freakouts, but it's like very frequent small ones, if that
Okay.
makes sense. Like
Yes.
it's a lot of small ones rather than no freak out, then it's a huge one.
Yeah.
And so like just like before this interview, I locked myself in the bathroom. So like that's so just stuff like that. But it actually wasn't my fault. The lock on on the side that you close is loose. So when I shut the door and I locked it, it was loose enough that it fell off. So I was like, shit, I'm stuck here because I couldn't put it back on. Then someone had to come and then like they got me out. So just like dumb stuff like that. I have a lot of like miniature tidal waves, and I don't know. I'm not good at SE, so it's still a demon, but it's just for some reason I'm attracted to SE. Um, I'm very. I think my SE is reflected in my interests as well. I'm really into like performance and like I guess even you have masculine SI, and maybe that's why you're interested in like fitness and stuff. So I'm really interested in like the body and like um sports and things like that. And I did a degree in neuroscience because I was really interested in like biology and like how things work in the brain, and it's a very ST way of understanding
Yes.
your body and everything. So I think my SE comes out in my interests, but because it's a demon, I still suck. I still make a lot of mistakes. Like this interview, I thought it was the wrong time. Like
Yes.
just stupid stuff like that. It's like I just don't keep track that well. I try to, but I don't. It's because the time zone for UK is it's GMT, but it's normally 0. But because we have daylight savings, I think
Oh,
it went up or something, and I forgot, so I assumed it was still on 0. But yeah, like just dumb stuff like that, like
like
all the time.
small type, mini tidal waves, like not like huge freak.
Yeah, not
But
never huge freakouts.
actually, when I saw that message this morning, like when you sent me, and then
Yeah,
it said, "Hey man," and then like you told me that you thought the time was wrong. I was like, "Oh, there we go. There's a SE tidal wave right here." Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Like oh, getting yeah. I don't know. It's really funny. It just even when I try to avoid, even like even when I'm really like, oh, I don't want to mess up. Like I will mess up. And it's almost like I just have to accept that it's gonna happen and just do whatever I want to do anyways.
I, I
So
I I have an INFJ friend from Australia, and he's very interested also in like performance. Like kind of like what you said. So
yeah.
he's a professional tap dancer, which is quite
Oh
quite odd for an INFJ because most INFJ, you know, like a lot of INFJs kind of like see themselves as unique and different. But I've also seen a
yeah.
pattern that they tend to all become counselors or some kind of
Yeah, that's
type.
so
So
my go on, finish what you're saying.
no, and I just thought it was kind of like, oh, okay, like that's kind of like fascinating.
Yeah, it's different.
Like
Um, I'm
and
an example of that. Because I did neuroscience, but and I finished that, but I didn't really want to work in a lab for the rest of my life.
yeah,
So I'm doing a master's in psychology.
yeah.
I'm aiming to be a counselor, and do you know Chris? He's my type, but he's also in the Facebook group.
Oh, I haven't spoken to him yet, so I don't know.
He's actually a counselor. So like, do you know what I mean? It's
Yes.
weird, but I'm thinking of changing my mind, so I don't know what I'm going to do in the future. But it's just funny you mentioned that because that was my path.
But but I don't think you should change just because everyone else is doing it. You know, like I think the reason why you guys become counselors is because you're good at it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like
It was because, yeah, the reason why I wanted to change was because I wasn't sure if, like, it's weird. It's kind of like, I think it's something I might be good at, but I don't actually want to do it. So it's
oh,
like, in my head, it's like, oh, it's just a good job to do, but my heart's not in it.
what's your
So
heart on then?
my heart's in s- still psychology, but like things like performance, performance-based psychology, or like things to do with optimizing human beings, in a way that is different to counseling. So I don't. Have you heard of Tim Ferriss?
Oh, yeah, everyone has.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Live
he
under a
does.
rock.
Yeah, I know. Like, to be fair, like out of everyone I've mentioned Tim Ferriss to, you actually know him. So hey,
Really?
some people do actually live in a rock.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, but like, but
But you do have activated SE, so you do consume. So it makes sense.
yeah, 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 exactly. And he does stuff that I would love to like do. Like he's a very self-experimental person. He experiments on everything, and it's like he's always trying to optimize the way we do things in a counterintuitive way. He develops like loads of different principles that we can use, and he constantly experiments. He does crazy stuff, and like he's just tweaking everything, and it's in an attempt to just optimize um reality, or like just how we experience being a human. So that's what I would love to do, but that's different from counseling.
So that's kind of like where your NT is manifesting then, you know, like
Yeah,
the the,
yeah, it is.
the desire to experiment, you know, like
Yeah,
and so are you planning on pursuing that then? In
I have no idea how to proceed. There's no like career path. I could do research, but research is very if I did research, I don't know how it would end up because it's quite a academia isn't like you can do whatever you want. It's quite bureaucratic, and there's a lot of things you have to do, and I don't know. I may end up doing research, but I don't know.
well,
Who
I mean,
knows?
one of the reasons why Tim Ferriss is so successful, in my opinion, is that even though he is an INTJ, and even
Yeah.
though he has SE last, he respects the facts,
Oh
right?
shit. It broke up
Okay,
when you were explaining. I was
how
like,
about now? Is it better now?
yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it's all
Okay.
good now. Say everything again.
So basically, what I was saying is that I think the reason why Tim Ferriss is so successful
Yeah.
is that he is an INTJ that respected the SE, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he gathered all the facts, and then he kind of made like a data set, you know, or like a compilation of every single data that he collected,
And it's insane.
and then
He has.
he came up he had a conclusion based on the facts that he gathered. Like, this is the best system that you would
Yeah,
use
yeah, yeah,
based
yeah,
on facts. Like, this is not based on bullshit that I
yeah,
pulled out of my ass, you know, like this is real stuff, right? Like, so
yeah,
I think
yeah,
for you, because you have double activated SE, I think this is where you would thrive, man. Like, if you like,
yeah,
even if you did it as a hobby to start off with, like, you know, maybe like on YouTube or having a blog, like you
yeah,
can do like, you know, the OTIM experiments, right? Like,
yeah, yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm not saying you should copy Tim Ferriss's like branding name, you know, like it wouldn't be like the ultimate experience, but you know, something like
Yeah,
that. But like, you know, just because you're actually one of the rare INFJs then that has double activated SE, and you have pretty high consume. So
yeah,
this is, you know, like David Chan always talks about like people who snuck in, um, you know, like an industry and they're not supposed to be there,
yeah,
but they dominated as a result of like being so different, right? Like, for example,
yeah.
like they said George St. Pierre, they type him as an INFJ.
INFJ.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
and
he
he's an MMA.
dominated MMA.
He's like the best welterweight of all time.
Yeah, yeah,
He's held belts in two weight classes, and like if you watch him fight, he's always like he's in a way he's like cheating, right? Like, okay, like this person is weak to striking. This person is a grappler, so I'm only gonna strike this person. Or like
yeah,
this person is a striker, so I'm only gonna use wrestling on this person because this person has no defense against my wrestling, right? and he's
Yeah.
like the jack of all trades. He's good at like pretty much everything, right? So,
Yeah.
so like he got in an ESTP dominated what do you call it, like sport, and he's beating everyone because they can't figure him out, right? And
Yeah.
he's using his N, he's using his double decider, he's figuring out the psychology behind the people, he's using his TI to solve a puzzle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No one guesses what he's doing, right? So like I think if you were to jump in and do something completely very un-INFJ like, which is like getting the raw facts and then like presenting the
Yeah.
afterwards, then I think no one's gonna stop you, man. Like you'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Like I really needed that because
Yeah.
I've been very like it's all, I mean, it's like feminine and I, like everything's all up in the air in my head.
Yeah.
And like I'm not sure what I want to do. Like, you talk to your parents and stuff and like and your friends, but no one's ever said, "Oh, do that thing," like the way you're talking now. And I just needed that. Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Like
I mean, it's obvious to me, like this is what you should be doing. You shouldn't be doing anything else. Now,
yeah,
keep in mind, I think you should have a day job, and then you should do this as like a
exactly.
side hustle first.
Yeah,
And
for sure. Like a hobby.
yeah, to start off with, and then when it picks up, you develop like enough skills and so you can either do it as a job, a career, or even as a business. So that's kind of like some of the options that you have. Obviously, you kind of have to like to test the waters a little bit to see, do you prefer having a job or a business, right? Like you have to, like those are some things that you'll have to answer later on. But so you need to blast this right away. Like you need to get
that's it. This because you were saying, because I've actually thought about doing it as a hobby. I like last year I was talking to my friend. We wanted to write a book about it'd have to do with like doing the most fundamental things to be like great. So it was gonna do with diet, exercise, and focus, like mental focus. So we were gonna write a book about that, and it was gonna be based on us experimenting on ourselves, learning the best things. We never did it, but like I've had like so many ideas. Like I've never done any of them. I had an idea of like writing a blog, like. But you're right. I just need to start. Like, and the thing is, it's not about you start and then it's perfect. It's like you start so that you get the hours in of practice, so that the day when you're committing to it as a career, you've practiced it on like these shitty hobby domains. Like you get the practice in, and then it's 10 years down the line, you can actually do it as a career because you've practiced for so long. Like with Dave with his RC business, that was just business practice for OP. But yeah, that's
okay. Like if I were to like make an assessment of you, how you should do it, you should definitely do it in video. And the reason why you should do it on video is you have that very strong SF vibe to you. Like you have like that cool guy vibe, right? So
thanks, man.
And that's gonna like really like if like, I'm not saying you should compete with other INFJs, but like if you want to dominate as an INFJ, using the skill set that you have, because you have low blast, right? So obviously you want to practice that by making videos and talking to the camera. But the fact that you have really strong play and SF, like you're very SF like I said, like cool. Like you come across more SF than NT actually, which is weird because they're
that's
like
crazy.
If you look at the coin, like they're the opposite side of the coin, right?
Complete opposite. Yeah, it's so weird.
But you almost like you're so, I don't know if you're peacocking or you're just being you, but like
I think it's weird. Like whenever I'm in social situations, I turn this switch on where I'm like this, and a lot of people like think I'm a very, very social person, and even my girlfriend and my housemate, they were just like, oh yeah, we're going to a house party or something, or like an event. They make sure I'm at the front and I'm answering the door because I'm the most sociable, like, hey, how you doing person. And my girlfriend was telling me that, and I had to tell her like, no, I don't like it. I just feel like the only way I interact with people is with that energy, but it's not like it's easy. Like because she was thinking it's like easy for me to do that, but it's like, it's not like easy, but I just do it because that's the best way to like connect with people. It's like you have to find them a reason to want to talk to you. So like you just really put the effort into talking to them. I don't know, that's it. But it's like it's me when I socialize. So I guess it is me.
It is you, and you're good at it. So I think you should definitely use that. You should play. You should use play to your advantage. Like the fact that you're
Yeah,
talking about like experiments. That's very like, trying different stuff, right? It like you
yeah,
were talking about fitness, so maybe that's kind of like the area you want to do it in. It's more like
yeah,
the physical realm. Like
yeah.
sports fitness. Like have to maximize performance. That in that kind of area, like you can carve out a little niche for yourself. I think.
Yeah,
My,
that's so cool, man. You're getting me excited. Cause like I like it's like in my head I had all sorts of things I was contemplating and like you're like and like let's picture those as seeds. And I just haven't they haven't been like growing or anything. But
yeah.
like you're coming here with a jug of water and you're like watering the seeds. I can feel them growing now. Like I feel more confident in like doing the things I want. This has turned out to be like this is like a counseling session. You're the counselor.
Yeah.
You're like telling me like go. You're a life coach for me. But yeah, this is good. I'm probably gonna pursue it now.
I can actually like picture in my head all the steps you need to take already to do this.
Wow, we need to keep in touch. Oh, oh shit, it froze again. Yeah, no, I was saying we should keep in touch. I think when people say like you need mentors, I never know where to find one, but I think I just found one.
Yeah, man, I'm more than happy to talk to you about it and like help you out. Like I can help you out with the execution, the planning, the execution.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like I can literally see exactly what you should be doing, like just based on what you're saying.
Wow,
Like to me it's like obvious. Like
wow, okay.
it's so obvious to me, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, like we just need to hammer it out a little bit more. But I think
yeah,
like we can come out with something concrete, and you can start like putting in the reps that you need.
okay.
Like,
Yeah, this is good.
but like the only thing I'm wondering is like, do you prefer to do it by yourself or do you want to do it with a partner?
Um, I like the idea of doing it with someone else, like, because I my only issue with doing things with people is when they're not on the same page as me. But like if I'm doing something with someone and we have the same goal and like we're on the same wavelength, then I do like it. I like that bounce back feedback I get with someone that's like-minded, like we both want the same thing. That's why I wanted to do it with my friend last year because he was the same. I think he was an ENTP, but like he's the same. He has the same like desires and everything. So if that's the case, then yeah. If that's the case, then yeah. But if not,
Having an ENTP partner would totally kill it for you guys because like he has the stuff that you're missing, right?
yeah,
He has that NE, so he can gather all the different ideas, right? While
exactly.
you have your NI. I mean, it's feminine, but it's there, and
Yeah.
you need to
It's not the same. Yeah, yeah,
you just need to practice it. And
yeah,
you have strong SE, which he doesn't have, right? So,
yeah,
so it's very complementary, in my opinion, to
yeah. That's true. That's very
work on
true.
ENTP. And you both have the TI, which
Yeah,
you have in common, right? The TI and the FE, right? So that's kind of where you're gonna get along.
yeah, for sure.
You'll be in the same page. Like, okay, it's like we need to make sure we have all the facts straight, that this is the right way to maximize sports performance. But we need to package it so that tribe likes it. So you have that FE, right? So
Yeah,
you guys both have
exactly. Yeah,
the fact that you both have that, like you're on the same page already, and you can,
exactly.
you can like do the experiments, come up with the data, turn the data to a
Yeah,
system, and then package the system so that it's cool. And
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
And he's really good at like the whole packaging and making something like very legit. Like he has a stronger TI than me, and I think it's obviously because it's second in the slot. Like it's so evident, and even he's that typical ENTP where he will um he will call someone out on their bullshit, or like he will like argue, or like he will express his masculine TI, and I just don't really express it. So like his TI is definitely stronger for sure.
Now I want to talk to you about blast last. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like, it seems to me that your recurring life problem is actually not chaos.
Yeah.
It's actually blast, if anything.
Yeah.
Because
It is.
from what I can see, like the insecurity with like where you're going to be moving in the future, or
Yeah.
which direction you should be going,
Yeah.
and getting started, it seems to be the recurring problem, because if you had
For
started
sure.
sooner, you would be so much further already.
Yeah.
And then I think it's because you haven't taken the chance to kind of figure out what that thing is. Now
Mm-hmm.
you know what that thing is. You need to hone in into the specifics, what that
What
thing is.
what the steps are, the practical steps
Well,
are.
not even that, but like in which field? Like, is it going to be sports and fitness? Is it going to be
Yeah. Yeah,
psychology?
exactly.
So like
Yeah.
you need to do like a little bit of soul searching using your sleep to kind of like determine, okay,
Find out.
what makes me happy? Like, it's like at least 8 out of 10 in the happiness scale.
Yeah.
While clearly this is something that the tribe would enjoy, you know.
That's the hard part. Like, I know exactly what, like, I know what I want. Like,
What is it? What is it
exactly.
that you want?
There's like it's like a selection of things that may not even connect
Let's hear
as
it.
well. Like, so I could read philosophy for days on end and
Sorry,
just like,
say that again.
oh, connection. Yeah,
Yeah.
philosophy. Yeah, so like I've always like been obsessed with philosophy, so I could read that like on days on end.
Yeah.
I've been always really into neuroscience and the whole optimization of like yourself, and like how you do things. I've been really into sports performance. I already said about the sports performance thing, psychology, and and funnily enough, like I really like sort of business, but it's not, it's I don't know what it is. It's like I like the competitiveness of business. I like the 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 hustle, the freedom, the flow of everything. I don't know if it's me being attracted to like the SC-ness of it, the lack of like traditionalness of it, but like I love the hustle and bustle, the outthinking, outsmarting people to get on top. That's what I like about business. And it's like business is like I used to love strategy games, and a business seems like a strategy game where it's like real world outcomes. So business and there's like within those five, there's like nuances that I can't think of right now. But like I know exactly what these things are, and but it's hard to package it into something that like, okay, this is a job, or this is a career, or this will be what people want. I don't know.
I figured out already. I know what you should do. Uh, Based on what you said to me and just observing you, you
Yeah.
clearly need to do sports and fitness and performance with an emphasis in sports performance psychology.
Yeah.
That, like, how to perform your best using your mind, like a lot of psychological,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
obviously also with the physical stuff. This is your niche, man. Sports
Yeah.
with an emphasis on psychology, with sports
Yeah.
psychology. Yes.
I have you heard of flow states before?
Yeah.
Flow states. Have you heard of the Flow Genome Project?
And I haven't heard of that one.
It's like a group of it's actually a group of different professions, but like it's neuroscientists that are trying to understand or hack how we get into flow states, so that they're everyday occurrences. So their aim is to make flow states a normal thing you do. It's like a new thing for like culture, like a new way of living. And that was like number one goal. And I remember it was like 2 years ago, like I emailed them like, how do I get into this? So like I like what you're saying is like I 100% agree, but I don't know how do I get towards that? I don't know what steps to take, which direction to go, because there's no like traditional path. I'm just like I think that's the missing blast. I don't know how to get started towards that direction. So
I,
that is probably
I can tell you right now how you can get started. So, basically, the first thing that you need to do is take all the famous sports people, like let's say Kobe Bryant or like LeBron James or whatever, or like different sports people.
yeah
do like a video of a breakdown of their mentality, you know,
Yeah.
like why they're killing it in their field, why they're the best, right?
Yeah.
After you've gathered all the facts and all the ideas, you put it down, you put it down on a piece of paper or like your computer, and you create a system, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to start experimenting, replicating the stuff that they did to other people. So basically you're doing experiments with other humans. So you can get some buddies to start off with. And so you get, okay, so for example, you want tangible results, obviously, right?
Yeah, for sure. For
You
sure.
can go to like a local high school or something, and then find someone that is, you know, aspiring to be, you know, uh, in any kind of sport, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so let's say it could be something like not even basketball related, because I don't know why I said that. Maybe because like it's like because you're black, but like,
Yeah.
but like like it's almost like it's like that. It's so Darren Brown, but like
I love the way you said, like, it's just so satisfying. Thing is, right, there would be no issues if everyone just talked from like a genuine, and that was the most genuine, like, you just said it. There was no, I don't know, it was good. Yeah, carry on.
no, but like I know that's kind of funny, but like no, like it could be like, let's say they're trying to learn javelin or like pole
Yeah,
vaulting, right? So like I can see you like kind of going to someone that's a top performer for that area, breaking down their exercise program and especially their psyche, their psychology behind it,
yeah, yeah,
getting all the facts, putting in a paper, creating a system, and then trying to replicate it with that person that's trying to get the result, right? And
yeah,
and you obviously you need to have a huge data size, right? Because like you need to experiment with a lot of people. But like,
mm-hmm.
who wouldn't turn you down if you said, "Hey, I want to help you improve your performance. Can I help you improve your performance? I've broken down um, the system based on the top performers, and I'd like to help you practice all this. And if you don't mind, I'd like to gather some from data from you, see if you can
Yeah,
improve your performance." So you can go to
yeah,
you can go to their practices and like, you know, write down the data. It's like, okay, this person, let's say they're doing you know, pole vaulting, right? Like,
yeah,
okay, this person has now jumped, you know, even high, like a few, you know, centimeters higher than before. So clearly this is working, right? And then you have like the data
yeah.
set, right? And like, okay, let's see if we can change this person's mindset, their psyche, right?
Uh-huh.
Can that be a deciding factor if their performance will improve? Well, let's go experiment. So maybe
Yeah,
during that day you can kind of like do like the Darren Brown style, like seating their head that they're a winner already, right? And
yeah,
like the number of like, you know, the height will increase, right? And you can like
yeah,
gather
yeah,
data. And obviously you're gonna be new at this, so you know, like basically you're just gonna put all this in your video as like a content, almost like a reality show. Like it's very SF cool, right? Because it's like a reality show, right? And so eventually you're gonna get so much data point, and you can actually have like proof that you're improving people's performance, that eventually
yeah.
like local teams would start hiring you and your ENTP friend, um, to help them with their performance, right? And you know, at
Mm-hmm.
first you're gonna charge really cheap because you're new, right? But then as you start getting more clients, more data point, more tangible result, then you know you're gonna start getting hired by
Yeah, for sure.
bigger teams, right? Like it's
Yeah, yeah,
super exciting. And then if eventually you want to get to the point where you're like being hired by like big, you know, sports teams, right? Like, and you know, that's kind of like the end point, right? Like you're working with like, you know,
that's the goal.
the NBA or the NFL or like Olympic level, you know,
Yeah,
but like you're gonna build up to that based on the data set that you have, you know. And I can see you like when you're older, like 20 years from now, it's like, hey guys, we have 20 years of data that we've organized to prove that our system is the best for sports performance, specifically with psychology, sports psychology, you know. And you're just gonna you're gonna kill
yeah,
it
yeah.
because you have the data to back it up, you know.
Oh, dude, I want to say one thing. How the fuck? Where did that come from? That was, that was a really condensed, like, literal plan. You just conjured up. Did you just, you, was that loaded? Like, did you have this idea for someone else and you were like, oh, it fits
No,
for him? Or was this just like, oh man, and he is crazy. It
well,
takes me. Oh man, like you literally just see everything. Oh god.
it's NE and TE, and also it's also my strength finder.
Yeah,
I have individualization, so like
yeah.
when I talk to people, I can see your hidden strengths and I can pull it out of you. That's
Wow.
like that's my
Yeah, you'd be a great. Have you ever thought of being a life coach?
Originally, I wanted to be a life coach, but then I was like, yeah, every ENFP wants to be a life coach. So I was like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, but you'd be good though. Like you'd be good.
You're right. Yeah, maybe I need to entertain it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. And also like when I was saying I really like performance, obviously it includes sports, and I mentioned sports, but like I'm really into like every kind of performance, like performance to do anything,
yeah,
any kind of I need like so there's like this there's oh fuck my head, it's like fumbling.
yeah.
Um,
That was a lot.
there's this there's a video of this guy, and he's really into performance enhancing people, but he works with businesses. He tries to help the business to be better. He helps like CEOs like train the employees to be better. And he was talking about how to influence our behaviors and stuff. And he was talking about how there's a structure. There's our behavior, then it's how we think, how we feel, our emotions, and our physiology. So he was saying, in order to hit the top of the pyramid, you have to influence the bottom first. So you have to change your physiology, and like he talks about breathing and all that stuff. So that it's like stuff like that where it's like you impact things in such a way it influences every kind of performance. And I mean, the easiest way to do it is seeing it in sports because that's like high performance. But like I'm even interested in like the minute performances and like little things like Tim Ferriss talks about speed reading. Like that's so cool. Like you're enhancing how quick you read. Reading is like such uh uh it's used for everything. Like it's such a key skill. So like it's stuff like that as well. So I guess my thing could incorporate all sorts of performance as opposed to just because I don't. It's weird. Because I'm like consume play. I have like EP-ness where like the things I want to do, I want it to be like not specific. I want it to like have lots of different flavors. So.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this. This is like the most messed up things I'm gonna say. But man, you need to narrow your shit down. Like an EP telling this to the IJ is like the most ironic.
You don't, yeah. It's stupid. It's so
Like,
weird. It's
man, you need to you can't, like I said, it's so ironic. Like you can't dabble in all this stuff. Like,
oh well, this is like the most this for someone to watch.
It's such an
Yeah.
like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you need to. I can see already what you should be working on, and all the stuff that you mentioned are good factors at what you're gonna do. Breathing, Wim Hof talks about this.
Yeah.
You know him?
Oh, yo, I love Wim Hof.
Yeah. So these are all factors of the big umbrella that you work on. But you don't want to focus on the small things. You want to focus on that one thing. For you,
Yeah.
sports performance with a lot of emphasis on sports psychology, and breathing is one of the factors.
Yeah.
That supports that umbrella. So, like I said, it's super ironic for me to say this one, and I user. It doesn't make sense whatsoever.
So like someone's watching this video and they're seeing the ENFP tell the INFJ, you need to narrow your shit down. Oh no, you couldn't write that shit. You couldn't. I mean, yeah, you're right though. You're correct. I'm like seeing it in like lots of like. I guess I'm very focused on the SC aspect of it. So it's like I'm seeing it in like lots of different things I want to do, as opposed to what is the umbrella. And you're right. You're correct.
Yeah, don't lose sight of the umbrella, because like that umbrella is a big deal, right? Like
yeah.
Like even though you're like the weird INFJ that's kind of like a dabbler.
Yeah. I need an umbrella to like.
You need to have an umbrella. So like I'll give you a concrete example. So for me, I have a travel blog.
Yeah.
In my travel blog, my topic is traveling.
Yeah.
Obviously, but it's not just traveling. It's also how to earn income online and how to become free, because I'm an ENFP and my obsession is freedom. So I talk about those topics, right? And but the cool thing is I set myself up to have a topic that has a variety of stuff. But
that's how you do it.
Yes, I figured it out. Like find an umbrella. that allows you to have multiple factors. So for you, sports performance with an emphasis on sports psychology covers all that umbrella that you want to do. So you're never going to get bored. You're never going to get bored, number one. It's fun, and you can collect raw data from each of them.
Yeah.
And actually, to tell you the truth, those are all important factors. So it's not like you're doing you're not dabbling and wasting your time. You're actually using your dabbling to reinforce that umbrella. So
yeah, for sure. It's crazy. Like the way you said that is, I've like ever since forever, I've always thought of it the opposite way. Like even when I was young, I had this issue. I had a careers counselor in school, and everyone had to go up to him and tell them what they wanted to do. And I told him kind of what I told you. I was like, I don't have like a specific career, but I like these different things. And I said actually very similar, but it was slightly different. I was really interested in like business and like marketing, because I was playing a game where you have to like earn money and like trade stuff. I was good at that. I said I was really into specifically sports, not as much or every performance, but specifically sports. And I think I was like biology, and I really like graphics design, because I was doing graphics designing at the time. And I was like, these are the different things, but I haven't organized them. And he organized it for me. He was like, you're going to have a business, and it'll be a sports performance business, and you'll do the graphics designing as well. And he painted it out for me.
Yeah,
so it's like I've always had this issue where like it's like different things, and like the only way I see myself doing them is separately rather than under one umbrella. Like in my head, I always thought I need to have multiple side hustles, which made it impossible. But like your way of seeing it is like a practical way of doing it.
Yeah, it's very TE.
Yeah, it's actually.
Now, because you have feminine and NI, because it's insecure, whatever we just talked about right now is gonna fly out of your head in a few days. So
no, I'm gonna write it down. I have Evernote, and whenever like I have like a important moment where like I have a good discussion, I'll write it down as soon after, because I know, because it's feminine and I, so just like trickle down.
That's not what I mean. So I'll give you an example. So I have feminine TE, right?
Yeah.
So even though I know what I like to do and what I want to do, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm confident how I'm going to execute, how I'm going to do things, because I have that feminine TE. So whenever you have a feminine function, from my observation, you need constant reassurance and and feedback from the tribe or someone that you perceive as your mentor. So throughout my life, I've always had an INTJ mentor.
Yeah.
Even right now, I'm paying for coaching with Dave, actually. And you know, they accuse me of being NETE because I keep asking, reasons, like, should I do this? Should I do this? This is my reasons why, and I'm trying to explain it. And I get accused of that. But the reason why I'm saying it a lot is because I'm insecure with my TE, and I need reassurance, right? I'm not insecure with my FI. I know who I am, and I know what I want to do. But I'm insecure with how I'm going to do it, because I don't want to fuck up, right? So I'm scared. So basically, what has worked for me is that I just made sure I had coaching to always like reassure me that I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track, and that this is where I need to keep going. So I'm gonna like say this to you right now. I would be more than happy to be your coach, and I'll do it for free.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, man. This is great. Like
just to experiment.
Like what you said was like missing information for me, like for the longest time. Like you're right. Like that, what you just said was perfect. Like the feminine functions need reassurance, and even like, what was I trying to say? Even like what I just said to you earlier, I told you like I had these ideas in my head, but like you watered the seed by like talking about it. It's because like my NI just needs that reassurance that like, go for that, and like to make it a more solid, concrete concept. You're right. Like, that's it.
And the biggest thing, man, is you shouldn't like no one should feel ashamed that they need reassurance for their feminine function. I think that's one of the biggest thing that bothers me is that people, there's like almost like a shame that kind of like is attached to like needing reassurance.
For
Like,
sure.
I think if you have a feminine function and it needs constant reassurance, I think you should just find a way to make it work, right? So like, for me, I have feminine TE. So how do I address an issue so that things are going well in my life? Because if I have shame and I hide under my blanket or under the bed, I'm never going to be able to TE anything.
Exactly.
So instead, what I do is I find someone that can walk me through the TE.
Yeah.
And I don't feel any shame for it because I think that as a human being we all need help with.
Everyone needs. Everyone has feminine functions.
So
and
So my biggest weakness is feminine. Well, like feminine TE is what I'm insecure about. So that's what I need help on. Like even when my SI, right? I have an accountant, right? So I get help from my accountant with the accounting work, right?
That's so good. That's actually like really good. That's how you learn stuff. You get a professional to like show you the best. You need to learn from the best to get the right information. It's good.
Well, it's a fourth function, so it's gonna be a demon for me. So even though I respect it because it's masculine, I recognize I need help for that. So basically, for me, I get help for my feminine TE and I get help for my fourth function SI. Right. So for you, like you pretty much just need help with like how to execute the stuff.
Yeah. So like blast and like NI. Yeah. What about like with FE? The thing is, I guess it seems like that's fine. But
your feminine FE is good. It's actually better that's feminine, I think.
The problem is, it's good, like, because it's feminine, it flows with the person. So I'm flowing with you. But if there's any situation where I'm trying to be SF cool, I want to impact the tribe. I want the tribe to feel good.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make you feel good. I just bounce off how you're feeling, but I don't know how to actually make you feel good. If you were angry at me, I would just kind of like be cool about it, but I wouldn't be able to change your state, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know how to change people's state. So there is like a weakness there, I think, somehow.
I don't think it's a weakness. I think you should just rely on your instinct because you're naturally good at playing. Like you can't explain why you're SF cool, but you are. So you don't need to reverse engineer this. And I feel like it's also a trap to try to reverse engineer this because the task at hand that you need to work on is building up your sports and fitness performance with an emphasis on psychology.
Yeah.
Look at the other stuff. Those are traps, man. Those are, I call them like potholes. Like you're gonna stare at the pothole, but you're not looking ahead.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't trip over this stuff. You're good at it, and that's good enough. Use your TI instead to figure out how you're gonna succeed in your sports performance stuff instead.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is such irony, like me talking about focusing, because like
it's good. I mean, this is like really good though. This is a good representation of how like anyone can do anything. Like you have enough awareness and experience to see something, and it's like it doesn't mean like organizing and being is the word gregarious. Like it doesn't mean you can't do that. Like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, this is a good representation that anyone can do anything, and like you need both. You need all of your parts to succeed, and you're aware of that. So like you're telling me I need to do my first functions properly.
Yeah. All right, dude. So we're gonna wrap up the interview pretty soon. I have two final things that I want to talk about before we wrap this up.
Sure.
Number one, what is your message to all the other INFJs out there
who INFJs
has trouble using their fourth function SE, because you can actually use it, so you're actually credible to give this advice.
Yeah.
So how can they use their SE better so that they don't trip up and get tons of like tidal waves as a result of having that, you know, fourth function SE?
Yeah, so I've seen this in other people as well that do well with their fourth function, and this is also my experience. Not that I'm good at SE, but it's just my experience. But you see, I have SE fourth, and it still sucks to like do things and fail, and that's SE. Like SE is just being okay with trial and error. People with SE, high SE, ESTPs, ISTPs, they don't care. Like failing is part of the process to them, but like to people who have it fourth, failure is like not, and it feels like death. It's like getting hurt is not worth the struggle. So what I'd recommend is use your NI to find the value in SE. So learning about the philosophy of philosophy based on being present, philosophy based on being flexible, based on like Taoism, and just kind of gather your NI concepts that are surrounding SE. So Taoism, I really like Taoism, and just things to do with being present, things to do with there's a concept called Wu Wei. So basically, in short, just learn about what is the point of SE, understand the meaning behind it, and then you'll want to engage with that pain, because you'll see that there's more to it than just experiencing pain. It's like a very rich experience, and you learn to appreciate that experience when you use your NI. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Oh, I actually forgot to ask you a question about that earlier, which is, you know, as a double decider, you tend to have more issue with pain. More issue with fear than pain. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
What is that fear that you tend to
Just that, just dying.
dying?
It's like it's not it's weird to say. It's weird to say, but like ever since I was young, I'd always be worried about, it's like just the idea of death, and that was it. Like all this other stuff, all the little things that I get scared of, it's like, okay, I'm scared of them, but meh. But the real thing I'm scared of is death. Like, and I'd cut through the bullshit and know that's like the big boss. And over time, I've just kind of filled my mind with tackling that issue and just understanding life and philosophies in a way that I'm okay with it. Like I understand that I'm alive simply because I am gonna die. If I wasn't gonna die, like this wouldn't be life. You know, there's all sorts of ways of having reflexive thinking, of being okay with it. And when you're okay with the big boss and like that fear, the fear of dying, everything else is like irrelevant, because everything else is a game. So yeah, that's fear. That's what fear is to me. Oh yeah, but I am low key scared of getting really ill, because for me it's like if I get really really ill, I won't be able to experience life. That's always been a fear. So I guess that's why I've always been very obsessed with like health and stuff and diet and like being optimized, because I think somehow subconsciously I would, it's like my way of like beating my fear of being ill and weak. It's like, how do I make my body the strongest it can be? But yeah, that's
Well,
that.
dying is the ultimate form of chaos, so that makes sense why you would fear that. And then being ill, which is so ironic, like the most ironic thing I've ever seen, is like you don't want to be ill because that's gonna inhibit your SE, and
Yeah,
because you want to use your SE. So if you can't use your SE, that's a bad thing, which is weird because then that's your fourth function. A lot of INFJs are avoiding to use it, and you are like, I can't use my fourth function. I need to use it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I don't want to get sick. So it's just like it's an irony on top of an irony. But anyway,
yeah, yeah.
uh, so
No, like the best moment was definitely when you told me to narrow my shit down.
yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah,
And then my last question to you, dude, because that was such a good tip that you gave to the INFJ. So I think a lot of
yeah.
INFJs really derive value from what you just said. My
Hope
last
so.
question is, do you have any last question for me? Because I have functions that you don't have. So is there anything about my functions that you want to learn about? Like FI
Oh
or
yeah,
PD or SI, T? Actually, all my functions is different from yours, but like just pick
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. The whole thing. Yeah.
Pick one
Pick
that
one.
you're curious about, and then I'll kind of explain to you.
Okay, shit, this is gonna be hard because I'm curious about lots of different things, and I haven't like thought about it in a clear way yet. Right, which one do I target?
What does your gut tell you that you should ask about?
Um, it's a weird question because it's gonna be about me,
Yeah.
but it's about but it's to do with your functions. So I noticed a lot of like FI people with masculine FI, they have a really clear way of like motivating themselves to do stuff. Like Kobe Bryant is a good example of that. I've been really, really into him, and I really like the guy. I learn a lot of things from him. But he uses his FI, and as much as I try to emulate that, it's not the same. And even with you, I can imagine your masculine FI is a strong driver in everything you do. And sometimes, like, my TI is good for like analyzing things, but I don't know how to use it in a way that it's like um, building, it's like pushing me forward. And like I try to listen to Tony Robbins because he's got masculine T, and he uses his TE to get certainty. Like he says, find as many reasons to do something. But how do I use personal reasons? I don't know. So I was just gonna get your opinion on how to like reverse engineer your FI relevant to my TI. Like,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll explain it to you. But in my opinion, you should outsource the FI to FI users. Like make friends with a lot of FI users, especially
yeah,
masculine FI, and
yeah,
just ping off them. You don't need to use it because like I don't have NI, right? So I just outsource it to INTJs. They tell me the NI. Man, I'll never figure it out, man. Like they come up with stuff that I will never figure out, and I accepted that. Now I understand how it works, but I'll never figure it out. So
yeah,
I outsource it to them. Now to kind of explain to you how FI works. It's pretty much it's your passion, like what means the most to you in your life.
yeah,
Like and it's a lot of it too is kind of like imagining what your perfect life would be like,
yeah,
like for me, like freedom is the most important thing for me. So like for me, ideally for me, I would be living in multiple different countries.
yeah,
And I would have an online business, 3 of them that would be thriving, that would
yeah,
support me, so I don't have to work for anybody. I
yeah.
don't have to
Can you
work
show
for
me how to? Yeah, I've been curious about online businesses, but we'll talk about it in
yeah,
private.
yeah, yeah. And I want to like, not so I don't have to work for the man, and I
Yeah,
can just do my own thing that makes me happy. Because
yeah,
like kind of like we were having a discussion earlier, like there's multiple things that interest you, right?
yeah.
But so same as me. Now obviously we need to narrow it down, but you can't narrow it down to the point where like it's just like people say you should just do one thing.
But
And I agree with that, but I think that the way to kind of get around that is to find a theme, like the one theme.
yeah,
And then
Steam. Yeah,
you can have multiple topics in a theme that supports that theme,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
right? So
like the sound
for
of
me,
that.
my theme is freedom and happiness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like authentic happiness. That like
Yeah,
not because someone influenced you um to value something, but because you just knew it right from the get-go. Like this is what you value, this is what you love, this is what wakes you up in the morning, this is what
yeah,
like gets you going, what like
yeah,
through the hardship that you're experiencing, this is what
yeah,
that can pull you out of that like gutter if you
yeah. It's
follow
like
that.
intrinsic,
It's very
intrinsic
intrinsic, yeah,
happiness.
exactly. So like regardless of what happens, you have that in you, and to build it up you need to take a lot of actions
Yeah.
where you feel like you're building self-respect. So
Okay.
I'll give you a concrete example. Like when that guy did this to me, and then I went up to him and I called him out for it
Yeah.
because I was assertive at defending my integrity.
Hmm.
I built like 1% more self-respect in that
Yeah,
moment.
that's true. Yeah,
And
it's these actions.
yeah, it's a lot of action based. Like you need to. It's not like that. The FI creates the vision,
Hmm.
but to reinforce the vision and the
You
confidence,
have to take
you need to
actions.
take action with it,
Yeah.
which is
Hmm.
TE. For me, it's TE, right? So I need to take action, right?
Yeah.
So NE kind of gathers like how do I feel inside? Like my NE and FI kind of like I go inside, I kind of figure what I feel, and then my
Yeah.
NE figures out now that I know how I feel and what I want, how can I make this happen?
Yeah.
And then if every time I take an action, I get like I like maybe like a 1.1% more confident every
Yeah, it
time.
reinforces it. Yeah. I was gonna ask. So yeah, that makes sense. How would so I understand like I'll have to have like a TI desire of like what works for me best.
Yes,
But
yes.
like, how do I take action in FE? Is it getting people on board, or is it making it a valuable thing in the outside world?
I think for you it's gonna be a little bit weird. I don't think you're
Yeah.
gonna be using just your FE. I think it's a combination of your FE and your SE. So
Yeah.
because like you're using your play to manifest things in real life, right?
In real
So
life, yeah.
so and SE is all about like physical movements. So
Yeah.
I feel like like let's say you're making a video, then you need to make a video of you doing physical stuff,
Yeah.
and like even a video of you like coaching somebody like through
Yeah.
the mental steps that they need to take
Yeah.
to like I noticed that INFJs are really good with priming, so almost like priming someone first and then like measuring the result later on. So it's very
Yeah.
TI, but like I think the best person for you to use as a mentor on how to build that deep self-esteem and confidence and self-respect
Yeah.
is Jordan Peterson,
Okay.
because he's doing stuff and you can tell he has absolute respect for himself
Yeah.
based on the things that he's done, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of he's going to be your model for someone that is an alpha state for
TI
being
and F.
confident, that someone that has TI and FE
Yeah. Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
kind of like my advice for you for that.
Dope. Yeah. Yeah. No, I see that. I see that. Yeah. I see that.
All right, dude,
Okay.
I'm gonna stop the recording now, but let's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
bye to everyone. Thanks everyone for
Yes.
watching this
Thanks for
interview.
watching.
Yeah,
This is fun.
it's been awesome. So I'm just gonna
Yeah.
pause the recording.